Okay, nasai minasan, today we're gonna talk about Ohsama Sentai King-Ohger Secret of King Racles episode 1. There is only around 9 minutes of content for this first episode, and I felt like this is something that we actually seen before from the revised origin for Kamen Rider, revised Kamen Rider Veil, something like that. So this is something similar to that concept to kind of like introduce us to who actually is Racles and how the hell did he actually own the power of the Ohsama Caliber Zero itself. So one thing that we learned from this first episode is there is this researcher in Sugar Dam called Vedalia, and apparently she is on kind of like a death row or something like that Racles actually tasked her to fulfill the research, and after she fulfilled the research of awakening the King-Ohger Zero and also the Ohsama Caliber Zero, she is gonna be put to death, something like that. So this is quite interesting for us to actually see happening in the story itself, like who the hell is this Vedalia and why is she doing what she is doing right now, and what is the original crime for Vedalia to cause her to be put in such situation or something like that. And another possibility on why Vedalia is actually on a death row because she is working in the technology of the King-Ohger itself. So obviously someone like King Racles, that he's kind of like very like they want to monopolize his power, doesn't want to share his power with other people, doesn't want other people, other nation to have the similar knowledge of what he has to be shared to the rest of the world. He doesn't want the rest of the world to have access to the power of the King-Ohger and also the Ohsama Caliber itself. So this makes quite a lot of sense for Vedalia to be put to death after she completed her research, because like I said, Racles doesn't want to share his power with the rest of the world. But one thing that we see really interesting in this episode is Vedalia actually became a Bagnarek. We are not sure whether or not she is a Bagnarek in the first place or not. I would assume not. And the reason why she became a Bagnarek is because of the Ohsama Caliber influence, when she has a little bit of the king's DNA on the hand, and when she touches the Ohsama Caliber Zero, there's a certain ray of light that causes her to become a Bagnarek. So I'm not sure what does this actually mean. Does this mean that the story, the history that all the humanity actually learned for the past few thousand years is a lie? Is this a kind of like a mistaken history, something like that? Because one thing we need to understand is that the history is written by the winner itself. They can spin the story however they want. They can say that the Bagnarek is actually the villain of the story or something like that. But I have a strong feeling that what if all the Bagnarek that we see so far in the story are not actually kind of like villain of the story, but they used to be human as well, and they actually got exposed to the power of the sugar, the power of King-Ohger, and that is why they actually became the Bagnarek itself. And that is kind of like seems really plausible, especially what we saw in this spin-off first episode of The Secret of King Racles. And this is definitely really interesting. And I will also say that this is also something that Debowski might have saw in episode 8 when he was like walking into the castle, and he saw something that it really blows his mind, and he might actually saw that he saw the King-Ohger Zero in the castle itself, and that actually shocked him or something like that. So these are all my theory on what is actually happening. But according to the next episode preview, we are actually gonna see, like, how do I say, Racles actually summoning the King-Ohger Zero into existence, and we are actually gonna see it in action in the next episode of this Secret of Racles. So it really makes me really wonder, like, why does Rita seem so surprised based on the old Kuwagata itself? Because based on what is gonna happen in the next episode, Rita would definitely have saw the the old Kuwagata, and she would definitely saw the King-Ohger Zero in action before, then why would she actually kind of like doubt that whether or not Racles is able to control the King-Ohger or not, something like that? Or maybe she does know. The only person that doesn't know is Yanma, something like that. Okay, so all of these are yet to be explained, or all those stuff. And even the new sword that that Rita and Gira actually uses, like where are those caliber actually come from? Like who produced them, who make them? Is it Yama that created them, or someone else that created them? Like why would they actually need to create a new Ohger caliber when they already have an Ohger caliber 0 to be used, or something like that? But there's also a possibility that after 2000 years, there's only one sword that is remaining, and that is the sword that Racles actually used. But the rest of the Ohger caliber that the rest of the heroes actually use has actually spoiled already. So in order for them to prepare for the invasion of Bagnarak, they actually would need to create a new Ohger caliber, something like that. So I hope all of this is being explained in this spin-off series, or even in the main series itself. That is gonna be really interesting. And last thing I felt like we definitely need to talk about is why the hell does the Ohger caliber 0 turn people into Bagnarak and not the king itself? Like it almost seems like they are like special people with special blood is able to access the power of the King-Ohger, but the rest of the people, when they try to do it, they are gonna become the Bagnarak itself. And maybe this is by design. Like this is by design for them to kind of like shelter the people from a war ending event by giving the rest of the humanity certain power, something like that. And that is why like all the people from the past actually became a Bagnarak in order to survive, something like that. But maybe because of certain things, like people misunderstand them or all those stuff, we are not sure. Okay, like it is gonna be really interesting moving forward, or to see what is to come about the story of King Racles, something like that. But that is all from me. Hope you enjoy. Let me know in the comment section below. Is there anything that I forgot to talk about, or anything that I missed? Let me know in the comment section below. But before I end, I just want to talk about this. It is not really related to the plot itself, but it is regarding the cinematography and regarding the editing of this spin-off series. Like there are certain scenes that seems really cringe, like the way like I don't know why do they actually choose to do this, like extreme close-up of the face, and then there's like this girl lying on the floor suddenly float by. I was like, what the fuck are you doing, man? Like the editor of this, what are you doing? Please do a better job next week, because this is really weird. Okay, but that is all officially from me. Hope you enjoy, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next one. Goodbye.